Hello everyone, Pyraxis here, or Anthony if you prefer. We're back here at my favorite park here in Fayette County, Pennsylvania, Friendship Hill. And I thought, I already have a video of the parking area, picnic area, and the grounds around the house. But I thought I'd take you on a little tour of some of the other things to see, the other sites. So I'm going to kind of just breeze past the main house, and we're going to go see Sophie's grave. We're going to go see the pond there, see the old graveyard, and then we're going to see a little known, there's like an old retaining wall that used to be the entrance to this place way back around the turn of the century at 1800. If I remember what I read correctly. So hope you enjoy today. I'm and following with me, and we're gonna like I said, we're just going to show you a few of the sites here that this wonderful and amazing park has to offer. Like I said, it's my personal favorite park in Fayette County, close to my home in Fairchance. And it's just great. Again, here's old Albert. Good job, Albert, on all you did for us. We got the big field up here with all these big, beautiful trees. Looks like a gorgeous black walnut over there. And a maple. I think we're too late for the magnolia blooms, but alrighty. We're just gonna go ahead and close her down for right now, and I'll pick it up once we get past the house. Alright, it's such a pretty sight. I just figured, what the heck, I have to take a picture of the house for you guys to enjoy. It's really pretty from this angle. Okay, and now we're at the gazebo and the overlook of the Monongahela River. I just had to take a little break here just to let you guys see all this nice beautiful stuff here. I think that's a pitch pine there. Still learning a lot of the pines. Boy, this sure is gorgeous here. Unfortunately, the river view is getting kind of grown up. You could hardly see the river anymore. All these trees over the years have really gotten tall, and you used to be able to see the river. Now I could barely see any of it down there. Just a little bit. It's pretty muddy today. We had some really heavy rains a couple days ago, so that's why I'm out today, because it's so nice and cool. It's only supposed to get into the mid-70s today. Plus, it's day 19 of been doing my daily calisthenics. I'm losing that visceral fat, that beer belly, and I've been taking some choline, inositol, I think it's called. Some supplements there. That's been helping. And yeah, so feeling real fit, feeling real healthy. Now this here, I'm not sure if this is a sugar maple or a Norway maple, but it doesn't have the serrated edge leaves. It has the smooth leaves. So it's not a red maple. Red maples have serrated edges on their things here. But yeah, this has got smooth ones, so this is it's probably a sugar maple, but it could be a Norway maple, because Norway maples have that. There's no samaras on it, no seed pods, so I can't really tell. If it had seed pods, I'd be able to tell, because the Norway ones, they fan out a lot more. So, and here's that big, beautiful oak tree. Oh my gosh, I think this is a red oak, though it could be a black oak, but good Lord, this is so beautiful. One of my favorite trees, just because it's so huge and so gorgeous. Hello there, bug. What is that thing? Oh, some kind of wasp, it looks like. I don't know how well the camera's focusing on that. But, all right, and we're going to go ahead and walk down here. This path goes to Sophie's grave. And there's a couple of plaques, I think, on the way there, so we'll leave it on for a while and give you an idea of just how far it is from the house. It's not very far, but a lot of, I think these might be pin oaks. If they're pin oaks, they're really nice and big. I don't usually see pin oaks that big. Or they could be scarlet oaks, because scarlet oaks and pin oaks have the same kind of leaves. Some kind of hickory here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 with serrated leaves. Been doing a lot of studying. And thanks to the last picture post I made on Facebook, I learned a lot from the folks. They were very helpful. Very, very nice that they helped me ID a lot of the plants and wildflowers that I wasn't familiar with. So, oh, it's a red squirrel. Hey, little buddy. Don't see too many red squirrels around anymore. It was funny, right after I walked past the house, I saw the goofiest thing. This robin was running full speed along the grass, and he was running, and then he didn't stop. He slammed right into a tree trunk. I was like, what the heck? Is that bird blind? You can see get a little bit of a steep hill here, so gotta be careful. Oh yeah, it's loose gravel, and good thing I got my new shoes on, and they got some pretty good tread. I can feel the grip on them, which is good. If I had my old ones, boy, I'd be in trouble. I'd be sliding everywhere. All the tread wore off. Finally threw them in the burn pile. Yeah, the fields are all dry, and they're, like I said, they're restoring them, so I don't know what they did, but big tracks. I can see they took maybe a mower through there or something, and all right. Looks like a little ash tree. Oh boy. Another black walnut. Okay, here's the main map of the park. Now what I'm planning on doing today is, like, I'm right here. I just passed the gazebo. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to Sophie's grave. I'm gonna show you that. Then we're gonna go over here and show you the pond. We'll do a little bit of walking through Sophie's woods, because there are some really big, beautiful beech trees and some oaks and stuff in there. But then we're going to come back, cut across to the field, which is over there. Boom. Then we're going to take this trail and take it down the main loop, and we're going to go to the Thomas Clare Cemetery. We'll show you that. Then we'll either turn back around there, or we'll go down here and take the north cut off and North Meadow Loop. We'll see how it goes when we get down there. But yeah, those are the main things. And then also over here, this is Fallen Timbers Road. Right up in here is where there's an old structure. There's an old retaining wall and entry postways. But the creek bed is kind of like tore those down, and they're silting in. But yeah, right in there, there's a little hidden thing that almost nobody knows about. But I found an article, thanks to Brenda, the local national parks coordinator or whatever she is. But she sent me the actual article that told you about the old stone posts, and pretty interesting stuff. So, and like I said, it's not too far. It's just a nice little pleasant walk. I mean, you do have to be careful, because it's I'm walking on slanted ground here, and yeah, so they got it all nice and cut back though. Yeah, I am in such a terrific mood these days. Oh my gosh, what with the supplements I've been taking religiously, they've actually made a real big difference. Maybe I was thinking maybe I was having like some insulin resistance and some fatty liver issues, and that was really giving me problems, and I couldn't get the weight off. But then I started taking that choline with inositol and inositol. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. But I started noticing a difference about a week after I started taking it. Ooh, we got a hackberry tree. How cool. I don't see too many hackberries, but yeah, so glad I found that one. I have to try the berries whenever they're ripe. But yeah, those supplements, that choline, that's what helps your liver process everything. And since I've been taking that, coupled with the exercising, well, after that week, I was getting my energy and strength back just from the supplement. That was about 25 days ago. Well, then I started 19 days ago doing my calisthenics again, which is 25 push-ups, 2 sets of everything, 25 push-ups, 50 crunches, 20 leg lifts, fanning leg lifts, and 25 squats. And every day when I wake up, after I wake up and get moving around, and then sometimes even in the evening. So, and I'm losing the weight, feeling good. So, yep. Oh, now we got into the nice shadowed woods. Oh, wow, with a big, beautiful white oak. Love it. And another, what is this? This one's that one's another kind of white oak, because the bark is different. See the bark, the leaves look the same. So we got this kind of bark here, and we got the lobed leaves of the white oak. And then we got this one here, which is also some type of white oak, but it's got flaky bark. I think this is this is a white oak. How weird. Yeah, see how it's got the flaky bark? Maybe one's a swamp white oak and the other one's just a standard white oak. But I thought the swamp white oaks didn't have as many deep lobes like that. But yeah, that's interesting. Or maybe it's just because this one's older. That's really weird. I'll have to look that up. Okay. Let's get back down here. Oh, wow. Smells wonderful here in the woods. Always smells nice a few days after the rain. Yeah. Now I can see coming into view now is Sophie's grave. Oops, careful. All these big roots sticking up. Different kind of hickory there. It's only got 5 leaves, leaflets per leaf. Yeah, this is just awesome. Oh, look at that. What is that? A tupelo? Yeah, it looks like a black gum tree. Awesome. That's a big one. And an elm. No, it's a beech. Yeah, see, I don't know why people always have to carve into beech trees. Whoa. I'm like, gotta be careful here. Oh, wow. Looks like what kind of oak is that? Is that a post oak? Yeah. Another beautiful 2, 4, 5, 7 leaves. So we got 5, 7, and 9. So probably a pig nut. I think that's 9. Here's Sophie's grave. Okay. Wow, since I was here last, that big tree over there fell down. This one too, I think. It's been a couple years since I've actually did this part of the trail. Yeah, but apparently this is Sophie's grave, where Albert Gallatin's first wife is buried. It used to have shrubs and stuff around it, but looks like they cleared it out. Oh, look how nice. She's got a little sunflower growing in there. Yeah. Fashioned pretty nice with the local stone, probably. Boy, I tell you, that's some craftsmanship. That's some patience, too. All those different sizes worked together and chiseled out. Geez, just chiseling the stone must have taken forever. Oh, you got some sycamores growing in here, too. Baby ones. I love it. What a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm just so thankful and grateful. And just around the bend from Sophie's grave is the pond. Let's see if there's any turtles or snakes up here. Maybe a bullfrog or two. Hope I'm not bouncing the camera too much, but this trail is very uneven. A lot of roots and stuff. There we go. We got some big old Joe Pye weed out there on the log growing. That's really neat. I think that's the log. Hopefully we won't. Yeah, that's funny. That log goes across the pond there. And see those pretty Joe Pye weeds just growing on it. Oh yeah, gorgeous. I don't see any fish, though I know there's some in there. Some kind of panfish. See if we can scare up any snakes. Usually they sit right here on the bank. Oop, there went a frog jumping in. Yeah, that's probably a little early for the snakes. They're probably still underground. As soon as the sun hits the bank, though, I'm sure they'll be out. Huh, no turtles. Usually I see some turtles in here. Last time I saw a big old snapping turtle. Yep. Don't even see any bullfrogs. I heard that one jump in. Huh. Nice that they keep it cut back too. And the nice little bridge that goes over the creek into Sophie's Woods. Yeah, so like I said, that wasn't very long at all. That wasn't very, you know, it was a pretty short little trip. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down now. And I'm going to go head over to the graveyard. I might, you know, film some of the area of Sophie's Woods or something. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'm just out for a leisurely stroll today. Okay, and oh, excuse me, throat's a little dry. I should have brought my water with me. But now we're in Sophie's Woods, and right away you start getting into, like I said, these big, beautiful beech trees. American beech, they're just awesome. I mean, you see how big that thing is? Put my hand there so you can see the scale. But yeah, they're just, I just wish people wouldn't mark them up like that. There's another big one right there. Look at that. Look at this guy. Holy smokes. That's a huge, beautiful tree. Now, fortunately, I know, like over at the Cheat Lake trail, there's some American beech where the branches are really low. They're right there, and you can just pick the beech nuts off of them. And last year, I got to try my first beech nuts, which they're okay. They're not the greatest thing in the world, but I mean, I enjoy them. Oh, look, here's another one. Now, see, that looks more like a Norway maple. See how the broader leaves? But it could be just because they're down in the sun. But, yeah, it's got the smooth as well. But the leaves look like they're a little broader here and a little less on the point. So, but, like I said, maples and oaks, I'm still learning how to tell the difference between them. Just when I think I know something for sure, something else comes up. Check this out. I think they tried to spell happy, but they missed a P. Happy. Here's another big, beautiful beech. And oh, wow, that's a really big one, too. What gorgeous woods. Sophie's Woods. Little beech trees, too. It's kind of funny how beech trees are. They grow in the shade for years and years and years and stay small. And then when one of the bigger trees falls and opens up the light, they just shoot up and turn into these big, gorgeous, magnificent ones. Now, this is the trail that we're going to take here. This is deeper into Sophie's Woods, but I think we're just going to head on to the graveyard, show you that. There's a neat little tangle of grapevines over there, if it's still there, that I'd like to show you as well, because it's very interesting. I find the way certain things grow and certain trees and shrubs and stuff, I like those weird oddities. But yeah, we're gonna go here. Maybe once we get over here on the border, we'll see some deer, some turkey, or be nice to see a little fox running through or something. Oh, look here, we got some pawpaws. Little baby pawpaws just started in this area. Yeah, look at that. We got a nice little one here. Nice one here. Oh, okay. Another one of those either sugar or Norway maples. Norway maples are invasive. They aren't native, but sugar maples are. So I'm Kind of prefer that they'd be sugar maples, of course. Another big, beautiful black walnut tree, which are also native. Looks like a bunch of spice bush. Yeah. My spice bush at home has all kinds of little berries on it, and they're just starting to get red now. A little too early to taste them to see. Last year they were really good. Sometimes they get a little bitterness or something to them, but yeah, last fall they were actually pretty tasty. And I'm not big on spice bush, but a lot of foragers like them. So yep, so we're gonna go ahead and cross over into those woods on the other side of the driveway, which, boy, look at that, it's pretty. Looks like a lot of milkweed out there in the field. Usually I see some deer in here among these yellow birches, but apparently not today. Okay, got out of the field and we're looking out here. That's where I came from, over there. Walked all the way from the house up here on the hill, which you can't see, like I said. There's the nice driveway lined with beautiful oaks, probably pin oak. I don't know exactly what they are. I haven't checked each and every tree, of course, but here I wanted to show you this neat little mushroom. Well, some kind of fungus. This is just awesome. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? They got some beautiful, I think it's some kind of, is it a polyphore? I don't remember what they're called. Some kind of shelf mushroom, but these are the kind that get hard and woody. They're too big to be turkey tails, I think, but yeah, I thought that was a neat little interesting find that you might appreciate. There's a little one growing out of this hole in the stump with some other little mushrooms down here. Check those out. Cute little guys. Yep. All right, let's continue on. All right, I walked down the drive path a little ways, and there are a few maples here and there mixed in with the oak, but I really do think that these are pin oaks lining the driveway, because they turn yellow in the fall. Scarlet oak would of course be red, but yeah, all I know is it looks mighty pretty when you're driving through here in the fall. And there you can see a little bit of the house there. I mean, that's a beautiful picture, don't you think? It's like, oh my. Yeah, but we're heading over this way now, going to the graveyard, and got 2 more sites to see, and then we'll call it a day. Got another interesting site here. This growth out of this big tree looks like a catalpa. It could be a princess tree, but looks like a brain or a butt. You know, we'll call this the brain tree, just because I thought that was interesting, the way that thing's growing, and it's kind of got the 2 hemispheres there. This over here, that's another one. I mean, that's a huge old catalpa, or it could be a princess tree. I think it's catalpa though, judging from the leaves, but I've never seen one quite that big before. Yeah, still see the house over there through the trees a little bit, but yep. All right, we'll keep going. So just another look at the map. We started here in the parking area. We went up this trail to the house and looked over the gazebo. Went down here to Sophie's grave and Sophie's woods a little bit, and cut over here through the field. Walked down the road a little bit. Now we're gonna go, we're here. We're gonna go down here, follow the main loop, go to the Thomas Clare Cemetery, and then we're gonna, the old road bed is like right in here, and we're gonna cut over and see that, follow that old road bed, which is not an official trail, but we're gonna go check out that retaining wall, and that'll be it. All right, heading out. Oh, we got some, looks like cockleburs. Oh, little butterfly. Hello, little butterfly. How nice of you to sit there and let us, oops, sorry, didn't mean to spook you. My arm hit the branch and scared him up. Not many wildflowers this time of year. I guess we're kind of between the spring. Oh, we got some nut grass here, some kind of sedges. But yeah, I guess we're kind of in between the spring bloom and the fall bloom, where we get the goldenrods. And I mean, we had those nice Joe Pye weeds on that log at the pond, and we got these little pink things, whatever these things are. I never figured out what those are. Like I said, I think those were cockleburs, and here I was right. Japanese beetles, that's always fun. I do believe that those weren't native originally. Oh, look at them all on this tree. Oh my God, on this bush. Oh, these Japanese beetles, buddy. These ones are making babies. A couple of them here are making babies. Well, it's just one of those things we have to deal with. And now it's the spotted lanternflies, which I haven't seen any of yet today, which is a good sign. Though I've been killing them at my house like you wouldn't believe. On my porch, I allow Virginia creeper to climb up my porch. Oops. And those spotted lanternfly, those nymphs, and the adults, they just love anything that's like grape, in the grape family. So I had to cut out a lot of the wild grapes around my yard, just because there were just too many. I mean, there were dozens and dozens and dozens of those dang spotted lanternflies. And I've been killing them all. Look at this thing fell. This is a sad, big old tree. This looks like it was probably a big old oak. Maybe a cherry. Yeah. Oh, some kind of elm. Leaves are pretty big for an elm. Maybe it's a slippery elm or a Siberian elm. Not quite sure. All these bugs in there. That's mostly why I wore my hat today, so those darn big black biting flies wouldn't get me. Yeah. All right. Heading off into more woods. Well, you probably can't see them too well, but there's a couple of deer back in there. I put the camera on zoom, but it went back to normal. I can't zoom in while I'm filming. I can only zoom first and then go back to it. Yeah, this GoPro, I don't think GoPros are equipped to do that. I'm gonna have to get me a new camera. Oh, there those deer go moving. Probably see them a little bit, but I saw two other ones before them too. But it's funny, there's no babies. There's just well, that one might be a young one, but doesn't have any spots. So yeah, no, I haven't seen any fawns yet here. At least none with spots still. But this is Ice Pond Run, and it's one of the places that are affected seriously by acid mine drainage or acid mine damage. It's restoring. They've got a program up there to where they're trying to clean it up, but it takes quite a while. I'm so glad it's so cool today. It's just beautiful. Look at all these ferns too. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed there aren't any kind of wildflowers out lately. I mean, very few. Couple of clovers. There's a little bit of Joe Pye weed. The wing stems aren't even blooming. These are all these things sticking up over there, those high weeds. Those are wing stems, and they're not even blooming yet. They have kind of pretty little yellow sunflower-like flowers. Yep. Thought I would just tape a little bit of walking through the woods for your guys' enjoyment, because I know I'm certainly enjoying it. Just love all the ferns and love all these trees like this. These are tulip trees. I love how they're twins at the base and then they separate. Doesn't take much out in the woods to make me happy. Just simple little things. I've learned so much since I moved to Pennsylvania. I mean, you gotta really love the woods here, because there's such an amazing diversity. I mean, not just trees, but flowers and plants. Every time I think I've seen every possible yellow flower that blooms in Pennsylvania, just when I think I've seen them all, I find another one I've never seen before. Yeah, the Pennsylvania's like got, must be dozens, if not hundreds, of different kinds of yellow daisy-like flowers. You know, so I always have to laugh about that because, like I said, every time I think I got one down for sure, something comes up and shows me the error of my ways. Kind of knocks me back down, saying, don't get arrogant now. Don't go thinking you know everything, Anthony. So that kind of actually makes me happy. Glad to know that even in my advancing years, I just turned 60. It's nice to know that I'm still humble enough not to think too highly of myself, or not too stubborn and jaded from life to be bitter. Look at those. Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can see this spider up close. Can you see that? Oh, kind of looks neat. I like the way the webs are up in the trees. You can't really see them too well, but that was nice. Little spiders got to do their thing too. Sorry about the adjustments here. There we go. Back to normal. And then all of these darn invasive multiflora rose, they take over everything. I'm guessing, now no one's told me yet. I was hoping somebody around here would have told me by now, but I still don't know exactly what qualifies as a jagger. I mean, a jagger is a word I'd never heard till I moved to this area. And I don't know if they use that to just to describe any of these thorny plants that grab your legs, you know, like greenbrier and multiflora rose, or if it's just like greenbrier, or, you know, I don't know what qualifies as a jagger. So if y'all are listening to this and you know the answer to that, leave me a comment down there and let me know, so I can figure out what exactly qualifies as a jagger. Looks like we got a pipeline trail here. Little pipeline opening. See, these are the wing stems I was talking about. They get these big yellow flowers on them, but they get really tall, and you can see how they got the little like wings on the stems, which is why they're called wing stems. But yeah, they're obstructing the view here. We're getting really close to the graveyard now. I can see the walls of it up there, so I might as well just keep on running. I can always edit out what, you know, if the video gets too long. I don't want to bore everybody. Wow, look at that big, beautiful beech tree. That's another big, beautiful one. Good Lord, they're so gorgeous. A lot of them in here, too. All different sizes, too. They have such pretty leaves, too. They look very much like the elm leaves. Of course, the bark of an elm is much different. You know, it's funny, I've only seen a couple of red maples here. Mostly they're all these other ones, these sugar maples or Norway maples. Maybe both. Here we go. We can start to see up there the graveyard. Got a nice little bench for you to sit on here, and a placard with information. So we'll go and we'll put that on the screen if anyone wants to pause and read it. I don't know if the resolution is going to be good enough. I've been saving my videos on higher resolutions for y'all, so it'll be clearer. Of course, you can adjust it so much on YouTube itself. Thomas Clare. Alright, first let's look at this. Don't know if you can actually see that, read it. Thomas Clare. pictures. Huh. Settler from Ireland, Thomas Clare. Nice big ferns over here. And here we go. Apparently he was a neighbor and friend of Gallatin's. I'm not going to jump the fence. It's all completely fenced around. It's like, it seems like Sophie's grave had that center part, you know, this graveyard, it's all blocked in with no entrance. I guess they don't want people there stomping around. You got a lot of markers. Got a lot of stone markers in there, but I think those two are the only two that you can actually read anything off of. Yep, so again, even this, even though there's no mortar in between, it's like the way people took the time and had the patience to stack these stones like this. And these look more natural. They don't look like they've been hewn or chiseled or carved. Well, maybe they have somewhat. They seem a little more raw. Still, I mean, the time and the effort it must have taken to just put those rocks in, that's some devotion. I tell you, I'm not sure I'd have the desire to do all that. Me personally, my views on dying and death is just, you know, take my body and throw it in the woods, let it rot, feed the animals and the bugs and fertilize the trees. Don't put me in a box and waste all this, you know, and waste all these resources here. Either that or cremate me and spread the ashes. That'll give you some potassium and stuff and other trace minerals. So, but yeah, I don't want my body to be buried in some airtight container. That doesn't do the environment any good at all. I don't want any embalming fluids in me to poison the, you know. So, but that's just my personal take on things, and it's not like I have anybody left to worry about me. I mean, the only ones left are my brother and my niece, and I'm not even close at all with my brother or my niece, really. I mean, we talk now and then on Facebook message and on the phone sometimes, but I haven't seen either one of them in 6 or 7 years. So when actually it was 4 years ago when my mom passed away, I flew out there. So, yep. And heck, before then, the last time I saw my niece before then, she's like, I think in her 30s now. The only time I seen her before that was when she was 4 years old. So, like I said, my family just never been close, and most of them are gone now anyway, so. Yep. I'm just wondering who's going to be the last man standing, me or my brother. He swears he's going to live to be 100 years old, so I seriously doubt I'm going to make it that long. I mean, most of the men on my dad's side of the family die anywhere between like in their 50s and 60s. I can't think of one of them. Maybe my dad's youngest brother, maybe he lived into his 70s. I'm not sure, but they pretty much all die of heart attacks. Now on my mom's side, they tend to live into their 70s and some of them into their 80s, but I think seeing how I have the heart condition, I was born with congenital defect, aortic coarctation, but I've managed it pretty well over the years. But yeah, I'm expecting, I don't know, I could live to be 70, 80. We'll see, hopefully. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good now that I'm doing the exercises and taking those supplements and everything that I talked about earlier. So, yeah, definitely doing better. Now I got to keep an eye out for the little road that goes off to the retaining wall, the old entrance. So I'm going to start focusing on that. Whew, okay, I made it to the section to where the old roadbed is. Got myself a stick, as you can see, to knock the cobwebs away, because they always, we're just taking a thin little game trail down here, follow the old road bed. You can tell because when this trail goes down that steep bend, goes down that steep incline there, that's this is where the old road bed is. We're going to come across a nice pawpaw patch I wanted to check on up here as well. I know this is it because I can actually see the railroad tracks down there through the trees barely, and down there there's a sign, one of the "You Are Here" maps. So yeah, we're gonna, like I said, just get our stick here so we can get rid of these cobwebs as we go through. But you can see, like I said, I'm on a little game trail. Follow what the deer made. Deer, fox, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I guess to the trained eye you can tell this is an old road bed, but it's pretty dilapidated. See, we're already coming up to the pawpaw patch. I think it's still a little too young. Maybe some of those trees are big enough to have fruit. But if they're all clones, then they won't produce any. There's got to be two different varieties typically. Yeah, see, this tree fell across. Yeah, I love the little pawpaw trees at this stage. A whole bunch of them in here. Yeah, no fruit. Oh, yeah, like I said, this still following this game trail. I don't usually go off trail here, but I figured since I'm doing this little tour of the sights to see, I would get that retaining wall in. Can't bend like I used to. Oop, there went my stick. Low bridge. Whew. Well, at least it's still good for getting the spider webs out. Oh, that's going the wrong way. Let's go down this little... This should be a little bit of a path as well. Like I said, the road bed is here. Oh, I missed that darn spider web. There's the road bed right there. Another trail coming up. Oh, big rock. Wow, there's a big tangle of those grapevines. Let's look at those. Ooh. I didn't see the one back there. I saw what I thought might have been it, but they must have cleaned it up and cleared it out. Yeah, but look at those. Those are some old ones. Yeah, those are pretty thick. Nothing like the one I saw at the Pawpaw Tunnel. Oh my gosh, the one at the Pawpaw Tunnel. That grapevine must have been 12 inches across. Yeah, see, here's the old road bed. You can see how it's all flattened. Yeah, this used to be the old entranceway to the property back when, I think it was the Spears family. I think that was them. Something with SP. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Spears family. But when they owned it, in the late 1700s, early 1800s, apparently they put this wall in there. This entryway, I can see it already in front of us here. Yeah. Now, the article said it was just a retaining wall, but when I look at it in conjunction, those old Mylar balloons probably drifted down here. When I look at this road bed and the part that's washed out, it makes me think that it was actually diverting the creek at one point, that this thing went completely over the creek, but the hole in the middle down here that you'll see is so small that during heavy thunderstorms it probably overtook that little opening. They should have made the opening bigger, and it went around it and washed it away on this side. So I think it was more of a, like a, you know, I mean, it's a retaining wall slash culvert. or whatever you call that, but or even maybe not quite a bridge. But yeah, so because if you look, oh my goodness, it's wet. Ooh, look out for the mud, the MUD mud. Okay, so yeah, I think that originally the creek bed went through there and went underneath that because it's got an opening in the middle. But you can see down in there, those are the posts. They got washed away. So they used to be standing up on higher ground. There's the corner. I think I'm gonna go back and backtrack and go around and give you guys a little bit of a tour there, but I'm not gonna have the camera on for that. Now the road's right there. I can see the road from here. That's 166, I think it is. That's the road I came up from Smithfield to get to the park. And then on the other side of that is Fallen Timbers Road. So yeah, let me go back and then we'll get a bit better view down below. Okay, here's a little bit of a view from the retaining wall. There's a truck going by on the road. Now, I know it's still a little bit far away, but you can actually see the wall there. I'm gonna get closer too, but this is real treacherous stuff that I'm going. You can see it's real steep. I'm gonna have to go around that way and go across and back up. So yeah, and then the old roadbed continues on the other side of that retaining wall right there. The old roadbed is cut in. So like I said, and here on this side is where it's washed away. But I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but there's the hole in the center and it's not very big. Like I said, we'll get close up. So I think this used to be, you know, what connected the road here. And I think it's just washed away. This section of the bank used to go through that hole probably. But I could be wrong. It might have just been some kind of retaining wall just for that one spot. Whoa, this is scary. Especially since the gravel and it's still, like I said, it rained really heavy here for hours. Pretty heavy for a while. It nearly filled my wheelbarrow up at home with rainwater. So here we go. Whoa. So yeah, everything's kind of still wet. Nice little fern growing there. Okay. Pretty rugged stuff in here. But still, I mean, I've been coming to this park for years. And I only recently noticed from down there on the trail, I saw up here, it was in the fall, or no, maybe it was in the spring. Well, anyways, there were no leaves on the trees. Oof. So I saw this straight line and I knew it wasn't natural. Yeah, see, I can actually see the trail down there. Maybe I'll just walk down there. But I saw this straight line up here of this little concrete thing along the road. And I followed the game trail. I said, we got to see what that is. Here's, like I said, the road. And then, after I saw that, I saw the roadbed, and I followed it, and to my surprise, there was this retaining wall. After hiking these trails for probably 10 years, or actually more than that, because I moved here in 2002, and I started coming here right then. So yeah, it's more like 20 years I've been hiking these trails. Never knew this thing was here. Whoops, get out of there, spider. Three things I hate, well, don't hate, that's a strong term. Three things I very much dislike about hiking in the summer is the spider webs, the bugs, and when I sweat like a pig. Oh my God. Yeah, look at that wall. Isn't that something? Again, there's that craftsmanship with those cut stones, and this thing was, you think, when you think that it was built in between the late 1700s and the early 1800s, somewhere between there, and this ingenuity that they had, look at that. Look at that workmanship. It's no wonder it's withstood over 200 years. I mean, almost as long as the country was been born. But yeah, see, there's the pipe that goes through there, and it's not very big. So I really think that when the heavy rains came by, it just instead of going through this pipe, it managed to go over the bank here, and then just tear out all this. Get dead branches off of there. Ooh, gotta watch for snakes too, because I've never seen. Oh goodness! Wow, this is, like I said, rough terrain. But yeah, you see how even this big, I think there's a maple tree, maybe an oak, washed it out, washed the roots out. And here the, go up here without slipping on all this mud. Get through this blue beech tree. But yeah, these are the old stone pillars that marked the entranceway. Kind of getting, like I said, they're in the creek bed, and they might eventually get covered up. There's another part of it or something. But yeah, it's I mean, after 200 years, it's amazing that it's still this intact. And yeah, you can see how this really washed away right down to the bedrock in this little creek, even though it only flows a little bit, even in the summer. Sometimes I think it completely dries up. But you can imagine, like, after that heavy rain, it probably washed a lot of this stuff down. Yeah. But like I said, few people know about this. I don't know if I want to... Oh, I wasn't sure that thing was going to hold my weight. Yeah, it looks like they even had they used rock for a base. So yeah, it's like I said, it actually, you can see the stones go here and probably out to this area. And so yeah, definitely, like I said, I definitely think that it used to go under here. I think the creek bed used to go here into the pipe, and that this is the road that they took right here, and then it would cross, and there's the road bed where I was standing on the other side. Yep, that's my theory anyways. Whew. Yeah, so retaining wall slash I don't know, retaining wall slash bridge, culvert, whatever you want to call it. But yep, and that's pretty much the tour. So I think with that, now that I showed you guys all this interesting and neat stuff, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. I want to thank you for joining me. I had a great time today, didn't sweat up a storm too much. I'm still pretty cool, nice breeze through here, and I'll see you next time. But make sure that you stick around. I got as usual, I'm going to put the photo slideshow here at the end. So all right, everyone, take care. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great day.